All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, Barakathum. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and to all the arguments across the globe. Teaching the word in truth and sincerity, I want to say Shalom. This is Diana from the Great Millstone Campus, Chicago, with a lesson. And today's lesson was inspired by my third grade teacher, to be honest. She was very, she was a very good teacher. One of the two teachers that really made an impact in my life. All right, and I learned from them that it really wasn't about higher education, as far as the way the school teaches you this curriculum, but it's about the world, the actual world that we're going to be living in, and some of the things that are more important. All right, and she used to teach us. We used to listen to classical music. You know, and excuse me for this because this is really pertinent to the lesson. I was in third grade, and she, after class, after recess, we would come back into the classroom and the lights would be off, and she would have classical music playing, and we were to go, sit at our desk with our heads down, and the music and with the lights off and the classical music, it would calm us down. And she would purposely come into the class late, after recess, maybe five, a couple of minutes late. And one time I caught her standing at the door, and she looked at me and she winked her eye and smiled, and she would rub my back as she walked past me. And I didn't understand what that really did until I got older. Classical music is soothing. When you got a bunch of hyperactive 9 and 10-year-olds, or 8, 9, I don't know, whatever third grade is, coming in from a long recess, the best way to calm them down and to get them back into learning mode was to have them to relax. All right. She would teach us about the types of apples, your Granny Smiths and your Red Delicious, and man, she would literally go around and break down the different kind of apples, man, by the bumps on the bottom. You see, she would talk to us about birds, the different kind of birds and the bird noises. She would actually play bird noises in the class, and it got to the point to where I started recognizing these bird calls, in my regular life. I still know them to this day. I even tell brothers sometimes, if you hear this bird, that's that kind of bird, or if you see this bird flying around, there's some water close by. You see, all right. She used to have a saying, "Waste not, want not." A myriad of things that just really, really stuck with me, and have been very, very useful to me in my course as an adult. But one thing that she always used to say, she had this phrase called listen, absorb, retain, recall, and apply. And she would always use that when she was teaching and we were studying. And that stuck with me up until now. And I've always used it, or not always. If I used it more, I'd probably be in a better situation. But point being is that it always stuck in my head, man. Listen, absorb, retain, recall, and apply. So what I did, the last couple of days, I've been trying to put a lesson together. And I don't know if I'm going to break it down by one or just go through the whole list, because it's pretty lengthy. But I really believe through the spirit of the lesson will be edifying. So we're going to take on the first word in that, which is listen. Okay? And listening is very important to this truth. Actually, listening is part of the truth. All right? And, and in life also, listening is very important. All right, to the getting along and to the comprehension of things that's being told and said and done. Okay, so through the Spirit of Yahweh Shai over the that's edifying. This is Isaiah 30:21. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. You see, this truth has knocked us all or tapped us all on the back. You see, when we heard the apostles, when we seen the brothers on the highways and the byways, when we turned on YouTube and seen the word Hebrew Israelites, and you watched the camp lessons from particular brothers out here pushing the word, the Lord spoke to you. The Lord guided you to those certain individuals and certain avenues to get the truth. And then He spoke. You see, when you actually listen to the word of Yahweh Shai, you're going to turn around and follow Him. You see, you got to be able to listen. You got to be able to understand what voice it is that you're hearing. You see. And we got to thank Yahweh Shai for giving us that, for speaking to us, but also allowing us able to listen to the word, listen to His voice. You see, because the voice is what turns us around to follow Yahweh Shai. See, before then we were walking the other way. We were walking away from the truth. We were walking away from salvation. All right? But when we heard the voice, you turned around and you started to follow Yahweh Shai, man. All right, just like the disciples. See, they cast their nets and straight away they followed Him. You see? When you know you heard that voice, you're going to turn around and you're going to follow Yahweh Shai. It's going to say, who can resist His will? You see? All right? This is Romans. I think it was one up here though. See, I want to see where I'll start at. All right, well this is Romans 10 and I'm gonna start at 13. Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. All right, and it's talking about the elect. It's not just talking about some random heathen, no Joe Schmo. All right, because the name is not Jesus. It's not Yehoshua. It's not Yahweh. The name of the Lord, the Heavenly Father, is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. And those are the names you have to call on, and those are the names you have to believe on in order to get deliverance. All right? The Scripture says there's no salvation in any other name. All right? This is the point. How then shall they call on Him whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? You see, it takes the men of the Lord out here, all right, to open the gates, to open the way for you, all right, through the direct guidance of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, Yahweh Shai put the words in the prophets' mouths, and they published it unto the people. You see? So without the prophets being on on the earth teaching the word, hey, we would not hear the word. You see? Nobody received the word through mental telepathy. You all received the word by hearing somebody teach about Yahweh Yahweh Shai. See, so believing comes with hearing. You see? But you can't hear nothing without somebody speaking. And if they're speaking, and you hear them, you gotta be listening, man. All right? You must listen in order to grasp the understanding of these scriptures. All right? Verse 15 says, how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. You see? So we have to go out there and preach and teach so others will listen. All right? Listening is very important in this truth. All right? I know there's other scriptures and things like that, but this is what the Spirit gave me. All right? So, you know, it is what it is right now. This is John 10. And, it's John 10 and 27. It says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. You see? We're following the voice of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, he's the good shepherd. All right? And we are to follow his voice. Let me see if there's another one I wanted to get. This is a good one. In Revelation 3 and 20, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open up the door, I will come in unto him and will sup with him and he with me. You see? The Lord is knocking. All right? But you gotta you gotta hear the voice and open the door. See, somebody knocks, you be like, who is it? They be like, Jim Bone. Well, you don't know no Jim Bone. All right? So you're not gonna open the door. All right, but if someone says, "Hey, you know, this is Marcus. Oh, what's up?" You know, like you recognize his voice. Well, how much more Yahweh Shai? You see? All right, and the Lord is dealing with the men who are listening. All right, and it's very important that we understand that voice. There we go. That's the one I wanted. It's the water up. Yeah, it was up there. I should have read up. In fact, let's go back to it. This is John 10 and 3. It says, to him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. All right? And we're following Yahweh Shem Shai because we're following the doctrine of the scriptures, man. That's being taught by the elders and apostles. You see? All right? If you're tuning to the voice, you're not going to turn to the left or to the right. You're not going to go being enticed by these other philosophies and this false doctrine. All right, but we're going to follow the word, follow the Lamb whithersoever goeth. Verse 5, and the stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers, man. You see, the men of the Lord, the sheep, hey, we're listening to the voice of Yahweh Shem Shai, not the voice of T.D. Jakes or IUIC or Christianity or Islam and Farrakhan. You see? But we're following the voice that we're familiar with. It's the voice of Yahweh Shemi Shai, because he knows our name. All right? So the next one is absorb. Okay? And absorbed, all right, it says, I'm going to read them. It says, of energy or liquid or other substance taken in or soaked up. Number 2, says, having one's attention fully engaged, greatly interested. You see? The truth is about being addicted to learning, being engulfed and submerged in the words of these scriptures, the stories, the plot twists, the dark sayings. You see? Let me see if I can get there real quick. Right. This is Sirach 18. And 28. Every man of understanding knoweth wisdom, and will give praise unto him that found her. They that were of understanding and sayings became also wise themselves, and poured forth exquisite parables. I don't think that was the one. God. Right, but the point being is that even in this, is that when we understand these scriptures, all right, we're gonna be able to teach these scriptures, man. All right, what we bring in, we're gonna be able to pull out, and it's gonna be useful. All right. The more we understand, the more we'll be able to teach. All right? That wasn't the one, but that was a good one anyway. All right, so we're getting back to the absorb definition. All right? It says, take in or soak up, to take in and understand fully ideas or experience. It says, take control of a smaller or less powerful entity and make it part of a larger one. The family firm was absorbed into a larger group. There's another one here, right? I think it was this one. Right. Some of the similar words, some of the synonyms are assimilate, ingest, digest, take in, imbibe, to drink in. All right. So what comes to mind? It comes to mind eating this roll, drinking this cup. All right. So we're going to get to Acts. And in 26. 28. It's Acts 8 and 29. It says, and Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, which is Isaiah, and said, understandest what thou readest? And he said, how can I accept some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. The place of the scripture which he read was this: he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so he opened his mouth. So he opened not his mouth. All right. And Philip went to this man. All right, I believe it was an Ethiopian eunuch. All right, and the eunuch was reading Prophet Isaiah, trying to soak it in, but he couldn't. All right. Philip had to break it down to him, these scriptures, you know, and what they and the understanding was. See, Philip was a teacher here, all right, and what he taught was something that he experienced, what he read, what he searched out, all right, and he expounded to the eunuch what these scriptures mean. But these things have to be in you in order for them to be let out. All right, and that's our job. Our job is to take the things that we have, all right, and to teach those things, man. All right, they got to be in. You got to be able to eat this roll. All right, the Proverbs. Proverbs 4:4, it says, He taught me also and said unto my heart, Shalakia, He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she will keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. All right? So we are to take these scriptures, all right, and to break them down, to understand them, till they be second nature. All right? We're not to speak our own mind. All right? We're not to just wing it. You see? When you're totally engulfed and you're submerged in these scriptures, and the Lord Yahweh Shai is dealing with you, you're going to be able to understand the parables, the dark sayings. You see, you're able to fill yourselves up with the Spirit, so you can go out there and teach. All right? You only teach when you understand something. So our job is to get a good understanding, a grasp of these scriptures, man, of the word of Yahweh Shai Shai, man. All right? And not to go out there teaching things that are not in the scriptures, adding and taking away from the scriptures, man. All right? If you don't know something, you don't teach it. All right, but when we're reading and we're teaching and we're studying, get an understanding, man. All right, that's the main thing we need. That's the first and foremost thing we need, is to understand what we're reading, so we can go forth and teach the right doctrine. This is Sirach 6, right? Because one of the words, right? It said one of the words is to take up the attention, interest greatly. All right. All right, to learn. All right, got to learn, to grasp, to understand. You see. All right, all these things are pertinent to us being prophets and men of the Lord. Is to have a good grasp or understanding. All right, to digest the things that we've been learning, so we can go forth and teach. This is Sirach 6. I'm going to start at 32. It says, "My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. If thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent." All right, so we got to apply ourselves, man. All right, we got to take these words, this book. We got to study. We got to be taught. All right, and when you're being taught, You're absorbing the information from your teacher, from your elders, man. And that's what this is about. It's about growing. It's about learning. It's about developing skills and habits that become second nature to you, man. All right? So my son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. All right, now where prudent goes to being wise. All right? If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. If thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. So that listening, listening leads to absorption. When you're listening, you're taking in all the jewels, man. All that oil, you're just soaking it up. You see? You know, but you gotta be wanting to take the time to go to class, to sit amongst the elders and just be quiet and just to listen. You see? Be a sponge in this truth, man. All right, you get a sponge, right? You soak it up with water. And when you squeeze it out, it's like, dang, all that water came out of that little old sponge. And that's how we ought to be. You ought to be a sponge soaking up every little thing that we can get. You never know what you're going to need, or you never know what the Lord is going to have you recall to further edify somebody, man. You see? We got to be like sponges and absorb this truth. It says, verse 34, to stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. And if thou seest the man of understanding, give thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. You see? And here in Great Millstone, Chicago, man, we have an abundance of elder brothers who are who have shown themselves prudent and diligent in the works of the Lord. Okay? They're able to share breakdowns and give you proper understanding and direction and correction and all things profitable for you, man. So it would behoove you to give these brothers a call. Take the invitation when they have their doors open of their homes to you. You see? Rather get together sometime, you know, or breaking the bread. Go and get fed, man. You see? Our job is not to let the word just go over us, but for us to be in front of it and catch it and to use it. You see? So let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thy own desire, man. You see, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for wisdom and understanding, man. All right, we want to be thinking upon these things, man. All right, we want to be absorbing these things, meditating upon the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is Ezekiel 3:1. It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll and go speak unto the house of Israel. All right? And his roll is talking about these scriptures. All right? And what he told him to do, he said, eat. See, when you eat something and you ingest it, I think one of the words was ingest too, I believe. Digest, ingest, digest, to take in. So when we're eating any kind of food, we're taking in the nutrients, we're taking in the vitamins, we're taking in the minerals, the things that we need to make our body function in a manner to where it can be efficient. You see, when you eat, your blood absorbs your I'm not a doctor, I don't know how the inside of the body works like that, but your nutrients are used. You see, your body uses them, And then it shows you that it's using them by what? By you being able to run a greater distance because you're taking such vitamins that are going to help you. You see, these are probably bad examples, but I can't think of anything right now. All right, but the point being is that when you eat, you're observing the nutrients. All right, in order for you to use later, man. Same thing with the Lord telling Ezekiel, eat this roll so you can go speak to the house of Israel. So you got to absorb these things so you can put them to use. Your protein shakes. You taking your, there you go. I thought of Murph. You taking your protein shakes, right? Then you what? Then you go lift weights. You can lift weights stronger. You can lift more heavier weights. You see? You eat this roll so you can pour forth the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All right, but you can only do it if you're eating, if you're absorbing the nutrients, the nutritional value that it has for us, man. All right. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. You see? See, the words of the Lord are in us, man. All right? And our job is to teach. Okay? Speaking to the house of Israel, man. All right? So, the next word I got is retain. The retain definition is just to continue to have something, keep in possession of, absorb and continue to hold. You see? All right, so absorb and retain are pretty much the same thing. All right? But when you retain something, you're holding it in, man. All right, you're holding it in for future use. Okay? So let's get to some of these. This is Sirach. This is Sirach 39:1. It said, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, who seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies, man. All right. And we have to take heed into the law, man. All right, we got to make sure that our mind is focused on the words of these books, man. All right, on the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? And this is where we're going to get our wisdom. This is where we're going to get our comfort. This is where we're going to get our understanding. All right? So he will keep the sayings of renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. All right? So we got to hold on to these things, man. We got to keep the sayings of renowned men. And who's the most renowned man? It's Yahushai. All right? Followed by the prophets, man. All right, so we got to keep these sayings. We got to retain them. We got to hold them. We got to clutch them tight. Put them on our bosom. And never let it go. You see? If we're keeping the sayings of this book, all right, we're gonna have further understanding, all right, and better and being able to better move with wisdom. All right. Verse 4, he said, he shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. All right. But the point being is in verse 2, it says, we will keep the sayings of the renowned men, man. All right, the sayings, keep the words of the book. Keep the sayings of these precepts, man. You see? This is something that that's going to lead us to having a crown of salvation placed on our head by Yahushua, man. This is 1 Thessalonians It says, prove all things. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. All right, and what is good, man? My friend, keep that word. I might have had that. Yeah, I do have that. All right. It said prove all things, hold fast that which is good, and we have proved these things, man. We proved the words of the Lord, man. All right. In another word, it's tested. You see, when we're praying and we're fasting and we're asking the Lord to give us certain things, whatever it is you may ask the Lord of, and He comes through, hey, that's proving all things, man. And once that proof is shown, and which the Lord shows His mercy and His compassion every day, all right, is that we know that these words of Yahweh Shem Yahshai are faithful and true. All right, you got to hold fast that which is good, which is what these laws, statutes, commandments, the words of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. All right. All right, so hold fast that which is good. And what is good is these scriptures. This is Hebrews 10. This is Hebrews 10, and I'm going to start at 22. So let us draw near with our heart. It's like, let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience, and our bodies washed with pure water. It's like it. All right, and that's what, Lord willing, we have done those things. The Lord has done those things to us, man. All right, and draw near to the Lord. All right, is also absorbing, man. All right, is knowing that we have Yahweh Shem Yahshai in our corner, man. All right, so let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. Right, man? No longer condemning ourselves, no longer thinking like the world. All right, but having that old man, the old things washed away. All right, by the word of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, that pure water is the truth. So let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for You're faithful that promise. All right, so we got to hold fast to our profession. The profession of our faith, which is to teach, which is to prophesy. You see? Which is to do the works of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. To bring good tidings. To prophesy, man. All right? This is our work. This is our job. All right? This is the one I wanted. I should have started with that first, but... Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right, so keeping the word is also part of absorption and retaining, man. All right, we keep this word. All right, we retain this word. We observe this word. Yahweh Shem Yahshai had to keep His promises and keeping us from the MOTB. All right, the charagma, the Dorito chip. You see? Because without that, because without Yahweh Shem Yahshai keeping you from those things, and you're going to be subjected unto destruction. All right? Verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. See, we got to hold fast to our profession, to hold fast to the words, hold fast to our faith, hold fast to our diligence, All right, hold fast to making our calling and election sure. You see? This leads to a crown. I consider, I would say, continuing the things. I'm afraid I'm not going to butcher it. To continue, right, in the things that I've learned. Second Timothy 3:14 said, "But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them," man. All right, so we got to continue in these things, man, that we have learned. All right, what do we learn? We learn to follow Yahweh Shem outside, not to follow this false doctrine. We learn to keep the law, statutes, commandments. We learn to do the works. We learn to fast. We learn to pray. You see? We learn to trust in the Lord. We learn not to give up, not to take our hand off the plow, nor to look back. You see? But continuing the things that we have learned, man. All right? And knowing who we learn from, our teachers, man. Listening and absorbing and retaining the things that we've been taught. You see? Revelation 3:11, it says, "Behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name." You see? All right, so we got to hold fast, man, that don't nothing take away our salvation. All right, retain these things. Retain these sayings. Retain the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. All right, that's how we overcome. That's how we receive our crown, by keeping the sayings, man. All right? And another word we have here is recall. It says bring a fact or event or situation back into one's mind. Remember. Officially order to return to a place. An act or instance of officially recalling someone or something. The act or faculty of remembering something learned or experienced. All right? And then what's that? It's these scriptures. It's the meditation of the law, statutes, and commandments. It's the remembering of these stories. Remembering of these circumstances and situations and trials and tribulations that the men of the Lord went through, man. And how the Lord delivered them. All right? This is Sirach. Let me get to the point. It says, Sirach 2:10, it says, "Look at the generations of old, and see did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him," man. So we got to remember these things, man. All right, the scripture's talking about, let's get that. All right, because we got to remember that these scriptures, these books of the Bible are history books, man. They're history lessons, man. All right, these people really did exist, and they really did go through these things. All right, and we got to remember that how the Lord delivered Job, how he delivered Lot, how he delivered Daniel, how he delivered us out of the hand of Pharaoh, man. You see? All right, it says Romans 14:4, it says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. All right, so we got to remember, all right, how the Lord delivered our forefather out of trials and tribulations, man. All right, we got to know that the Lord never left his men starving or hungry or forsaken or destitute. You see, that's what getting into this book really is all about. It's remembering the things that the Lord has done and showed to be true to our forefathers in the past. All right? It says, for the Lord is full of compassion, back in Sirach 2:11, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. You see? And that's what the Lord has done. We got to remember that the Lord's not going to leave us here to get destroyed. Not the elect. We got to remember that the Lord is going to feed us. You see? Matter of fact, right, let's get this. Psalm 37:25. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging for bread. And we got to remember these things, man. Yes, the men of the Lord had famine. They were going through famines and things like that, but none of them never died of starvation. None of them never had nothing to eat. You see? We got to remember these things, man. We got to remember how the Lord said He's going to deliver us out of this trouble. How we're going to eat and have abundance. You see? How we're going to get delivered. All right? He says the words are faithful and true. You see? And we got to remember these things, man. You got to remember Daniel and the lion's den, man. All right? You got to remember Isaiah or Jeremiah being in prison, man. We got to remember the three holy children, how they got delivered out the fiery furnace. And we got to recall these things, man. These things are something to give us inspiration and hope and confidence in the Lord that He's going to do these same things again on a very much grander scale, you know? All right? Let's get Ecclesiastes. It says, Ecclesiastes 12:1, it says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the street. When the sound of the grinding is low, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners goeth about the streets. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the well be broken at the cistern. Then shall dust return to earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. All right, and it's the time to draw on the Lord now, man. All right, before things get bad. All right, before you cannot serve the Lord, man. All right, because there's going to be coming a time where the voice of the Lord is going to be withheld. All right, there's going to be no more YouTube, no more Facebook, no more going on highways and the byways. All right. So remember that we don't have forever, man. You don't have eternity. You don't have 30 years to get it together. You see. You got to remember, man. That one man, who built a barn. So I have enough for my goods, or I don't have I have too much goods, and I need to build a better. Man, let me get it. Let me get it. Um, I want to say goods is in there. Right. This is Luke 12. Um, Luke 12 and 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy shall be required of thee. So like it, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Whose shall those things be which thou provided? So is he that lay up a treasure for himself and is not rich toward the Most High. You know, and this prayer can go a lot of ways, man. You know, but the point being, for this, it says, he ain't thinking about the Lord, man. Are you thinking about his treasures? So you think he had 20, 30 years, all right, to enjoy his goods? Hey, but the Lord's going, but the Lord took away his life. You see? Remember the Lord while you can, man. All right, remember the Lord while you can, because at the end of the day, all right, at the end of the day, death may be lying in wait for you, man. You see? All right, these scriptures are made to stir up your mind. Matter of fact, let's get that too. Second Peter 3:1 says this second epistle, beloved, now I write unto you, in both which I stir up your mind by your pure mind by way of remembrance, that ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and the commandments of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior, man. All right. So we gotta be mindful of these words, man. All right. The Lord has put the Spirit upon the elders and apostles, going back to Elder Albert Bivens, all right, to waking us up. You see? Now that we woke up, we got to be mindful of these words. We got to take heed to these words of this book. All right? We got to recall. All right? We got to recall these things, man. I just did that with scoffers in ancient world, there's scoffers now, man. All right? So we got to remember these things, man. We say, we'll just keep it at that. All right? It's Baruch. Oh man. Let's start at Baruch 2 and 28. If thou speakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying, if you not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. All right? And that's part of recalling. That's part of remembering, man. All right? About what the Lord has done to us for being disobedient. All right? By not hearkening to the voice of the Lord, hey, we were scattered amongst the heathen, man. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of captivities, they shall remember themselves. And they shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. You know, and that's what we've done, man. All right, we didn't have the name of the Lord 500 years ago when we came here, or 400 years ago, roughly. Because we came here, we did have the name, but it was beaten up out of us after generations, man, to where we didn't have the name. But now we have the name. Now now these things it become a part of us, man. All right, this is our clothing. This is our covering. All right, knowing the name of the Lord, remembering ourselves, because in the land of captivity they shall remember themselves. You see. All right, and we have remembered. Let's get there. Oh, there. Hold on. I did read that. I just read that. I'm tripping. Right. You know. So yeah. So we have remembered ourselves here in this captivity, man. You know. And it's a very beautiful thing to have these epistles, to have these scriptures as a remembrance, man. That's why it says in the law, it says keep them as frontlets on your eyes, man. All right. The words of the Lord are ever before us, man. So we can just draw, we can use it and apply it. Let's go to the last one. Last one is apply. I'm going to use one scripture for this, and I'm going to close it out. This is James 1:22. It says, be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves, man. All right? All right, so we got to apply these things, man. The scripture say, if you do these things, you should not fail. All right? So let's not just do lip service, but let's try to be more applicable, all right, when it comes to these scriptures, man. So with that, I hope the lesson was edifying. Until next time, I want to say, Kal Halal, Yahabash Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Till next time, Shalom and a Baba Bar.